Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Rebecca. Today's practice will be a flow working our hamstrings. So stretching, strengthening, also strengthening those quads to get more stretch through our hamstrings. Yes, so let's get started. You'll want a block and a strap for this practice if you have them. If not, no big deal. You can modify as needed. We will begin on our backs, coming into a constructive rest, which puts our femurs in internal rotation, bringing the knees together, feet wide. And you can bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. You could tee out the arms or reach them overhead. Beginning with your breath, just notice how it's moving in and out through your nostrils, and where it expands inside, and then feeling that sensation of contraction as it releases on the exhale. As we deepen the breath, we tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest. And oftentimes I come to my mat and I just want to bring awareness to perhaps what am I processing? Is there anything that happened earlier today or earlier in the week that maybe could use a little time and attention if it is still we're still digesting the experience, the information, whatever it may be. I started using movement, not necessarily yoga, years ago. It was actually running. I was 13. And it was, I used the running for processing emotions, but at that time, it was more about running away from. And as it's transitioned and transformed and evolved throughout my life now, as I move into practices like yoga, it's about bringing it home and processing it here and now in my body. No longer running, but just letting whatever it is land. And hopefully, not always successful with this, but hopefully letting it flow through versus holding on to it. So maybe what I just said sparked something for you, just to give you something to think about as you move through this practice. What brought you to your mat today? Take another inhale and exhale here. Tee or cactus out the arms and just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then letting the knees just drop to whichever, the right or the left. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Perhaps take your gaze in the opposite direction. Switch the other side. Switch your gaze. Back to center, feet parallel, arms alongside the torso, palms pressing down. Extend right foot up toward the ceiling. Stack your ankle on top of your hip. Just point and flex your foot. Keeping the foot flexed, tiny pulses. So we call this an active stretch for the hamstring. And in order to actively stretch the hamstring, we are working the quad, front of the thigh. A couple more. And then take your hands to your hamstring or walk the hands up the calf. Moving those toes, kind of pulling, keep the foot flexed and active as you draw those toes toward the back of your space. And then keeping right hand on the outside of right leg, we're just going to drop that right leg out to the right. You can let left knee drop to the left. Your foot does not need to come all the way down to the floor. You're just kind of feeling into the stretch and what is just right for your groin, your inner thigh. And bring right knee or left knee back to center, stacking foot over hip on the right side, and then just take that right foot over about 6 inches, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, to get this stretch on the outside of right thigh, right hip, and you can take left hand to the inside of right leg. Draw right knee into chest, half happy baby, grabbing a hold of the pinky edge side if you can, maybe the ankle or the shin. And switch. We're going to bring the arms once again along our sides, palms pressing down, extend left foot up toward the sky, and just begin to point and flex. Now, of course, if you need to use the hands, by all means, support this posture. And then keeping the foot flexed, pulse those toes toward the back of your space. Active hamstring stretch. About squeezing the front side of that left thigh. A couple more. Hands to the hamstring, or maybe walking them up to the calf, depending on how stretchy the hamstring is. And of course, if the leg is not straight, no worries. Maybe the knee is slightly bent. Left hand to the outside of left leg, and we're going to let that left leg drop out to the left. Right knee can drop out to the right. Try to stay balanced through the hips. Of course, that right side's going to want to lift. Keep breathing. Draw right knee back to center, left leg comes up, or left foot comes up toward the ceiling, and then right hand to the inside of that left leg and just drawing it over about 6 inches or so, getting that stretch through the outer thigh and glute, IT band. Draw left knee into chest. Half happy baby. You might bring right hand to right hip just to remember to keep it grounded on the right hand side. All right, and then full happy baby with the strap. So taking the strap across the bottoms of the feet, knees wide. And we get to use the strap here for feedback, like pressing the feet into the strap, and those hands are drawing the strap down, creating and adding a little resistance here. And release. Set the strap off to the side. Hug your knees into your chest. Take some circles or rocket side to side. Switch the direction of the circles. All right, bring the feet down. Keep the knees bent. Arms once again along the sides, palms pressing down. We're going to lift the legs and then lift the hips. Keep a slight bend in the knees, keeping your gaze up toward the ceiling. And then slow lower and tap the toes down. Lift the hips, slight tuck here, working the abdominals, and then bring it down. If you would like to take this a little bit further, you could play with leg extension, a plow. And for me, it's like a little early in the practice, so I really feel that tug. And then when you start to drop the legs, you could play with leg extension, of course, more challenge for the abdominals. So if you're wanting a little bit less, or whatever feels right for your body, you can shorten the legs, or keep them long. We're gonna do this 2 more times. From plow, or just lifted hips. And then kind of a hollow body hold, lowering those legs. Try to keep your low back grounded. Last one. Hips come down, legs come down. Now everyone extending the legs toward the top of the mat. Take your feet a little wider. Reach your arms up overhead and take them wide like a supine star pose. And then we're going to take right hand to left foot and reach. And then left hand to right foot and reach. Just moving side to side. Feeling this connection from our center out through our hands, this, connection to the arms, the legs. Let's do one more on each side. All right, hold your supine star. And then reach your arms up toward the sky, palms facing one another. And then we're going to lift the torso, reach the arms high. And then hinge and reach forward. This is an active stretch for the hamstrings. Now, option. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my hair here. You can reach it forward, or you can take your hands back behind you. This is an active stretch versus a passive stretch for the hamstrings. So either hands reaching behind or reaching forward, whatever feels right for you. And of course, if you want to add a bend to the knees, you can add a bend to the knees. Couple of deep breaths. And release, bringing the hands behind you, press into your feet, bend your knees, reverse tabletop. Stretching out the abdominals, the hip flexors. Hips come down. And extend the legs forward. We're going to wake up our hip flexors, quads, as well as reaching those abdominals again. So to make this easier, the hands come behind. To make it harder, the hands come forward. Choose what is best for you. Scoop the belly in and up, almost finding a cat spine. And we're going to lift and lower that right leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And switched, left leg lifts, lowers for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap it out. One more time, reverse tabletop, hands come behind, knees bend, lift the hips. Squeeze the butt, engage your hamstrings, so we're working the back side of the body. And release. Come forward to all fours. And tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pedal, or sway. And then with right knee bent, left heel pressing down toward the floor, calf stretch here on the left side. And switch. Back to center, down dog. Roll forward, plank pose. Bring the knees down. Core engaged, so lift your navel towards your spine. Extend right leg back. Spiraling right inner thigh up toward the ceiling, so it's a closed hip position. We're gonna bring the weight forward into the hands, shoulders out over fingertips, come down halfway or maybe all the way. Keep that right leg lifted. Lift up and then hamstring curl. Straighten right leg, shift the weight forward, come down, chaturanga. Press back up, hamstring curl. One more time. Hamstring curl, leg extends, tuck left toes. Lift that right leg, three-legged dog. And bring right foot down to meet left. Inhale and exhale. Shift forward plank. Bring the knees down. Core engaged, so lift that navel up toward your spine. Extend the left leg back. Send the weight forward. Come down halfway or hover. Press back up. Heel to butt, hamstring curl. Here we go, shifting the weight forward, come down halfway, press back up, hamstring curl. Last one. Keep left leg lifted. Now tuck right toes, lift the knee, three-legged dog. Send that left leg high. And step left foot down to meet right. Gazing to the top of your mat, lift your heels and tiptoe forward. Eventually coming to your forward fold at the top of your mat. Maybe take a ragdoll here. So here we begin to deepen that hamstring stretch as we let the ribs drop toward the thighs, top of the head toward the floor. If you need to, adding a bend to the knees. And then see if you can lift those kneecaps and squeeze your quads on the front side to get a little deeper stretch in those hamstrings. Because the quad strength will assist in the stretch, the back side of the leg. And then release the hands down. Inhale, half lift, spine lengthens. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale. Exhale, press down into your feet, rise to standing. And relax your arms down along your sides, hands to hips. Right foot's gonna step slightly forward. We're gonna step that left foot back and think about just scissoring the legs from the knees down. So if the thighs are parallel, we're coming onto left toes, left heel is lifted. Keeping that right leg straight, begin to hinge the torso halfway, so parallel to the floor, and then inhale, rise. Exhale, torso comes parallel to the floor, top of the head presses away from the sits bones. Inhale, rise. Final one. Now left heel comes down, right toes lift. We're going to add a bend into that left knee as we send the hips back, right leg stays straight, and we're going to sweep the arms forward. We're going to do that 2 more times. And release. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back. Thighs parallel. So we're just scissoring from below the knee. Left or right toes press down, left or right heel lifts. And then hands to hips. Torso comes down parallel to the floor. Keep left leg straight or as straight as possible. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Inhale. Right heel comes down, left toes lift, right knee bends. Keep that left leg straight as you sweep and reach those arms forward and then rise. So our hips are going back, right knee is bending, last one. And step it forward, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back plank pose. Pause for the in-breath and the out-breath. Shift the weight forward, chaturanga, to up dog or cobra, and press back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts high. Right knee to nose, right foot to right thumb tip, Anjaneyasana. Bring left knee down. Reach your arms up toward the sky. Exhale, airplane arms half splits. Lift right toes, press into the heel. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hold it here. Now, of course, if at any time you need to bring down the hands for stability, please do. We're going to drop it all the way back for a little hurdler's pose, taking this left heel to the outside of left glute. If this is not available, it can be both legs extended. You could prop your hips up on a block. You could do a little half butterfly. Lots of different variations, so take care of yourself here. And we're just going to hinge and fold out over right leg. Two more deep breaths. And then we're going to lift the hips, crawl it forward to lunge, bring the weight into right foot, left leg lift, standing splits. So standing splits is a closed hip position. We want to think about dropping this outer left hip down toward the floor. We spiral left inner thigh up toward the sky. Relax head, neck, and shoulders. And then we're either going to step or sweep that left leg through, coming into one-legged Tadasana. Option to play with a full leg extension here. And we're going to sweep it back, airplane arms, warrior 3. And keep spiraling that left inner thigh up toward the sky. Lift your core, lift your navel toward your spine. And then small step back. We're going to come into a pyramid variation. So where I want you to grab your block, and I suggest the high setting. And that block's going to settle right inside of right foot. So right toes are facing forward, left toes are angled out slightly. Left hand is going to come onto the block, and we're going to reach right arm forward. So reach those fingertips away from your sit bone. That right hip is going to gently kind of draw back as we open out to the right. Palm facing out now, drawing that right hip crease back. And then start to turn the palm facing inward, reach that right arm forward. And now right hand's going to come down onto the block. Left arm reaches forward. And then as we spiral the palm to face out, fingertips reaching the sky. That left hip crease is drawing slightly back. And then reach it forward, palm faces in. Hips and shoulders square forward. Left hand comes down. We're going to do this 2 more times on each side. Slow, intentional movements. And last one on the right. Last one on the left. You can set your block to the side or bring it forward. We're going to step that right leg back, plank pose. Keep right leg lifted if you'd like. For chaturanga, to up dog or cobra. And press it back, down dog. Left leg lifts. Left knee to nose, left foot, left thumb tip, right knee comes down. Anjaneyasana. And exhale, half splits, airplane arms. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hold here. We're going to settle into our hurdlers, bringing the hips down. Right heel drops out to the side of right hip. Again, if you need to use the block for your hips or some other shape for your legs, then we're going to hinge and fold out over left leg. Hips lift, we crawl it forward, coming into our lunge to standing splits. Weight comes forward into left foot, right leg lifts. Outer side of right pelvis drops down as right inner thigh spirals up toward the sky. Relax head, neck, shoulders. And then step or sweep that right leg through, one-legged Tadasana. Option to play with full leg extension. Warrior 3, airplane arms. And we'll set up for our pyramid. Small step back with that left foot, or right foot. Left toes are forward, right toes angled out to the side. We're going to bring the block. I suggest the high setting, but you could do something lower. Bring it inside of left foot, right palm grounds, and then left arm reaches forward. Press that left sit bone away from the fingertips, gently drawing that hip crease back as we reach left arm up toward the sky, palm faces out, and then spiral it back to center and bring left palm down. Right arm reaches forward, and then we're gently drawing that right hip crease back as we reach right arm up toward the sky, stacking our shoulders. And then bring it forward once again and down. 2 more on each side. So feet grounded, hips steady as we take this movement through the arms. 1 more each side. And set the block aside. Step back, one-legged plank here if you'd like. Left leg lifted to chaturanga, the up dog or cobra, and press back, downward facing dog. Bring your knees down, press your hips to your heels, child's pose. Breathe into the backs of your lungs. Using the breath to just help with this, help with digesting, processing, whether it's information, experiences, or like literal food. We have to process and digest all of it. We often don't think about the digestion because it's happening for us. But there are times when it maybe feels stagnant or it's moving too fast that we need to think about it, about how our choices are affecting that literal digestion process of food in the body. Rising up to tabletop, transition to a pigeon pose, right knee to right wrist, and sending that right foot over to the left side of our space. Hips and shoulders square forward, and then fold forward. This could also be a figure 4 if you need to modify. You could use your block to support your right hip if it feels a little uneven at the base of the spine. And then begin to rise, walking the hands back to the hips. We're going to bring the weight into that right hip and sweep that left leg around for a seated twist. If you need to straighten right leg, please do. Left hand comes behind the back, right arm reaches up, and then we're going to twist it to the left. And a little seated half boat twist if you'd like. Right hand to the pinky edge side of that left foot, kicking it forward, reaching left arm back. And then option to bring that left arm forward, grabbing a hold of your ankle, your calf, and drawing that thigh in towards your rib cage, sitting up nice and tall. And release. Cross the legs. All fours. Child's pose. Rinse and clear. Rise to table. Pigeon on the left. Left knee to left wrist. Left heel over toward right hip crease. Square hips and shoulders forward. And when you're ready, settle and fold. So I think it's really valuable awareness to realize if you're trying to avoid something or run from it, right? That's that fight or flight. Or if we're moving toward it, if we're facing it, if we can allow ourselves to actually process and digest. And whether it's finding stillness or some kind of movement practice to help us with the processing, it's all tools at the end of the day. Tools to help us learn how to be. Slowly rise, hands walking back toward the hips. We're going to sweep that right leg to the outside of left. Right arm comes behind, left arm reaches up and twist it to the right. If you need to straighten the left leg, please do. Twisted half boat if you would like. Left hand to the pinky edge side of right foot, right arm reaches back, broaden across the collarbones. And then right hand comes to right leg, switching the position of that left hand. And if you would like this seated hamstring stretch, tall, long spine, try to lift up and out of your low back. And then release, seated forward fold, taking your feet to the top of your mat, ground through your hips. So maybe you do an active stretch here with the hands behind. We did this a little earlier in a partial straddle. So this can help us keep extension in the spine versus rounding through the upper back. Not to say that the rounding is bad. It's just if we spend a lot of time in that position with our spines, this is a nice counterbalance. And some of us might want to take the hands forward and play with the fold more passively. You could add a bend to your knees. You could prop up your hips. That is helpful to the hamstrings and the low back. If you had a blanket. Rising up, reach your hands toward your feet, slow lower onto your back, and then we'll do a little counter stretch for that fold bridge pose. Pressing into your feet, feet parallel. Lift your hips. You could use your block for supported bridge. Interlace your hands or reach your hands toward your heels. 3 to 5 deep breaths here. Shimmying your shoulders underneath your chest to open across the chest, lift your heart. And balancing the space, like literally letting this be the bridge from our heads to our hearts to our feet, staying grounded. And then slow lower upper back, mid back, low back. Shavasana. Find your final resting pose. Settle in. Know and trust that the rest is helping you with the digestion, with the processing. Stillness. could pause this video and continue to stay in Shavasana. Or when you're ready, making your way to a seat. Bringing hands to heart center, thanking yourself for showing up. Hari Om Tat.